The one walked through the long hallway of the Nexus Military Academy. The walls were white and cold. Lights hung from the ceiling, making everything bright and clear. She could hear her footsteps on the metal floor. They made a soft sound with each step she took. Her heart was beating very fast. Today was the day. Today she would face the war beast. The academy was built on a strange planet called Cadet Station. It was a place where the best soldiers came to train. Young people from all over the galaxy came here to learn how to fight and how to lead. They trained for months. They learned how to use weapons. They learned how to think fast and make good choices in bad situations. But before they could graduate, they had to pass one final test. They had to fight the war beast. One did not want to think about this. But she could not think about anything else. She arrived at the observation deck. This was a large room with big windows that looked down into the arena. The arena was a huge open space with sand on the ground. The walls were very high and made of strong material. Nothing could break them. Her friend Jiho was already there, sitting on a bench. He looked up when Dawan came in. Jiho was a tall boy with dark hair and kind eyes. He had always been nice to her, even when other cadets made fun of her quiet way. "You are here," Jiho said. He stood up and smiled at her, but the smile was not happy. It was the kind of smile people make when they are worried. "Yes," Dawan said. She sat down next to him. "I am here." They sat in silence for a moment. Below them, in the arena, something was happening. Another cadet was fighting the war beast. This cadet was a large boy named Teo. He was strong. Everyone knew he was strong. He had won every training match since he came to the academy. But now he was on the ground. The war beast stood over him. It was a huge thing. It had scales that were black and gray like old metal. Its body was made of both real flesh and metal parts. Long ago, humans had found this creature during a war. They had taken it. They had made it stronger by adding metal parts to it. Now it was part human technology and part something else. Something that came from another planet, from another time. The beast had 4 legs. Each leg had sharp claws. It had a long tail that moved back and forth. The tail was very strong. On its head, it had 2 eyes that glowed with a bright orange light. These eyes could see everything. Tried to stand up. He was brave. But the war beast hit him with its tail. The tail moved like a rope made of steel. It knocked Teo across the sand. He fell hard. The sound came from the speakers above the arena. A voice said, "Cadet Teo is defeated. Remove yourself from the arena." Teo got up slowly. He was hurt, but he was alive. He walked to the side door and went out. Other people in the observation deck clapped a little bit. It was not really clapping for being happy. It was clapping for not being dead. 5 more cadets came down to fight the war beast after Teo. Some lasted longer than others. One girl, named Biora, lasted 8 minutes. That was the longest anyone had lasted that day. But in the end, the war beast threw her against the wall. She fell into the sand, and the match was over. The one's hands were wet. She was sweating even though it was cold in the observation deck. "Go on," Jiho said quietly. "Do you want to leave? We could say you are sick. We could say you need to rest." Dawan shook her head. No, she could not leave. If she left now, she could never come back. The academy did not allow people to run away from the test. If you ran away, they sent you home. They said you were not strong enough to be a soldier. Dawan had worked very hard to come to this academy. She had trained every day for 2 years before she even arrived. She had left her home and her family. She had given up so much. She would not leave now. The voice came again. "The next cadet to enter the arena is Dawan, number 2847. Please come to the arena entrance. Dawan stood up. Her legs felt like they were made of water. But she walked to the door. Jiho followed her part of the way, but he could not go to the arena. Only Dawan could go there. She went down many stairs. With each step, she felt smaller. The arena entrance was a big metal door. It was closed now, but when she got close, it began to open. The sand inside was bright. The sun was shining down very hard. The one walked through the door. The war beast was at the other end of the arena. It was very far away, but Dawan could see it clearly. It was even bigger than it looked from the observation deck. It was as tall as a small house. Its metal parts caught the sun and reflected the light. The voice from the speakers said the rules. Dawan already knew the rules. She had learned them many times. She had to survive for 15 minutes, or she had to hit the beast 3 times in the right places. If she could do either of these things, she would pass the test. If she could not, she would fail. She would be sent home. Dawan held her practice sword. It was not a real sword. It was made of a special rubber-like material that was very hard. It could hurt, but it would not cut. The war beast would not let her kill it. The beast was too important. It had been used for this test for 300 years. The beast began to move. It walked toward Dawan. Each step was very heavy. She could feel the ground shake a little bit. The beast was getting faster now. Its orange eyes were looking right at her. It was not angry. It did not seem to have feelings at all. It was just doing what it was built to do. It was testing her. The beast ran at her now. Dawan had no more time to think. She only had time to move. She jumped to the side, and the beast ran past her. Its claws made deep cuts in the sand where she had been standing just a moment before. The war beast turned around very fast. It came at her again. This time, Dawan tried to hit it with her sword. The sword bounced off the beast's metal side. It did not hurt the beast at all. The first minute had just begun, and Dawan already knew this was going to be very hard. Dawan ran across the sand. The war beast chased her. Its footsteps were very loud. Boom, boom. Each step was like thunder. Dawan's breath came hard and fast. She was running as fast as her body could go. She looked at the big clock on the wall. Only 2 minutes had passed. She had 13 more minutes to survive. It felt like 13 hours. The beast's tail came at her from the side. Dawan saw it coming and jumped. The tail swung past her. It was so fast that it made a sound like a whip in the air. If that tail had hit her, she would have been hurt very badly. Dawan landed on the sand and kept running. But her legs were already tired. She was not used to running this much this fast. The beast was made to run. It was made for this. Dawan was just a person. She thought about the other cadets. She thought about Teo and Biora. They had all lost. They had all been thrown down. But they had not died. The beast did not kill them. It only tested them. Maybe if the one was careful, if she was smart, she could survive. The beast was getting closer. Dawan could feel the heat from its body. Its orange eyes were bright and smart. They followed every move she made. Dawan had an idea. Instead of running away, she would run toward the wall. Maybe she could use the wall. Maybe she could climb. Maybe she could do something different from what the beast expected. She ran toward the wall. The wall was very high and very smooth. There was nothing to hold on to. But Dawan jumped anyway. She jumped as high as she could. She got about 2 meters up the wall. Then she fell back down. She landed hard on her back in the sand. The air left her body. She could not breathe. She could not move. She lay there, looking up at the sky. The sun was bright and hot. The war beast was coming. One could hear it coming. She could not move. She could not fight. This was it. This was the end. The beast's shadow fell over her. Its claws were visible. Its teeth were big and sharp. Its mouth opened. It was going to strike her now, but then something strange happened. The beast stopped. It did not hit her. It did not throw her. It just stopped. Its head tilted to the side. The orange light in its eyes changed. It became violet, a color Dawan had never seen in the beast's eyes before. Dawan lay on the ground, breathing hard and looking up at the creature above her. She did not understand what was happening. A voice came from the speakers. It was the arena master. He sounded confused. War beast, stand down. Stand down immediately. The beast stepped back. Dawan could breathe again now. She took big breaths of air. Her whole body was shaking. She had been sure she was going to lose. But the beast had stopped. Cadet Dawan, exit the arena, the voice said. The test is finished. Dawan got to her feet slowly. Everything hurt. Her back hurt from falling. Her legs hurt from running. Her heart was still beating very fast. But she was alive. She had not passed the test the way it was supposed to work. She had not survived for 15 minutes. She had not hit the beast 3 times, but she was alive. She walked toward the exit door. The war beast stood and watched her go. Its eyes had changed back to orange now, but it did not move toward her. It did not try to stop her. It just watched as Dawan walked through the exit door. She looked back one more time. The beast was still watching, and for just a moment, it lowered its head. It was a small movement, but it was clear. The war beast had bowed its head to -1. Later, in the medical center, a doctor named Minji was putting special cream on Dawan's back. Dawan had a long red mark across her back from falling on the sand. It was going to be a bad bruise tomorrow. You are lucky, Minji said. She was an older woman with kind eyes and gentle hands. That fall could have broken bones. You could have been very seriously hurt. The beast stopped, Dawan said. Why did the beast stop? Minji looked at her. She did not answer right away. Instead, she went to get another person. This person was Senior Commander Tae-sung. He was a tall man with serious eyes. He had marks on his uniform showing that he was very important. Cadet Dawan, he said. I need to ask you some questions about what happened in the arena. I fell, Dawan said. I jumped toward the wall and I fell. I fell. The beast came to attack me, but then it stopped. I do not know why it stopped. Tae-sung sat down on a chair next to her bed. He looked very interested and very confused at the same time. Did you say anything to the beast? He asked. Did you make any sounds? Did you do anything special? No, Dawan said. I could not do anything. I could not breathe. The beast has never done that before, Tae-sung said slowly. It has tested many cadets over many years. It has never stopped an attack. It has never backed away from anyone. Maybe it was broken, the one said. Maybe something is wrong with it. Perhaps, Tae-sung said. But he did not sound like he believed this. He sounded like he was thinking about something. He looked at the one carefully, like he was trying to see something inside her. Rest, he said finally. You can rest for now. But as he was leaving, he said something to Minji. The one heard him say, we need to run tests on the beast. We need to understand what just happened. That night, Dawan lay in the medical center bed. She could not sleep. She kept thinking about the moment when the beast had stopped. She kept thinking about its eyes changing from orange to violet. She kept thinking about how it had bowed its head. Why had the beast done that? The one did not know, but she knew that something had changed. Something in that arena had changed between her and the war beast. What it was, she could not explain, but somehow, deep in her heart, The one knew that the war beast had recognized something in her. Something that made it stop. Something that made it bow. A week had passed since the one's test in the arena. She had recovered from her injuries. The bruise on her back was still there, but it was starting to fade. Yellow and purple marks showed where it had been. The one had gone back to her regular classes. But everything was different now. Other cadets talked about her. They whispered when she walked past them. Some of them did not believe her story about the beast stopping. They said she was lying. They said maybe the beast had been tired. Or maybe the beast had been broken and now it was fixed again. But the one knew what had really happened. The beast had seen something in her. She did not know what, but something had made it stop. Then, one morning, a message came to the one's room. It said to come to the command center. A very important person wanted to talk to her. The person was Commander Hale. She had come from the main government office far away in space. She was a woman with silver in her dark hair. Her eyes were very sharp. They seemed to see everything. "Sit down, Da1," Javier said. She was sitting at a desk with many papers and computer screens around her. Da1 sat down. She felt small in the big chair. "I have been reading about your test," Hale said. She touched a screen and it showed pictures. The pictures were from cameras in the arena. They showed Da1 running. They showed her falling. They showed the moment when the beast's eyes had turned violet and it had bowed its head. "The war beast has tested people for 300 years, Hale said. "It has never done what it did to you. I wanted to know why. So I looked at your family history." She touched the screen again. Now it showed a picture of a woman in a military uniform. The woman had dark hair like Da1. The woman had the same shape of face as Da1. "This is Captain Ryung," Hale said. "Do you know this person?" "No," Da1 said. "I have never seen her before." "She was your mother," Hale said. Da1's heart stopped. Her mother? But Da1 had never known her mother. She had grown up with her father's family. They had told her that her mother had died before Da1 was born. They did not like to talk about her. "My mother?" Da1 asked quietly. "Yes," Hale said. Ryung was a very good soldier. She was strong and smart. She did special missions for the government. Hale stood up and walked to another screen on the wall. She pushed some buttons and a video began to play. It was an old video. The picture was not very clear. In the video, Da1 could see her mother. Ryung was much younger in the video. She was in a large room that was dark. And in that room was the war beast. But the war beast looked different. It was smaller. It did not move much. It looked like it was sleeping or broken. Ryung walked closer to it. She did not have a weapon. She did not look scared. She just walked closer and closer to the beast until she was right next to it. Then she spoke to it. The sound in the video was not very clear, but Da1 could hear her mother's voice. It was soft and calm. Ryung was talking to the beast like it was a person, like it could understand her. For 3 days, the video showed Ryung with the beast. She would sit near it. She would speak to it. Sometimes she would put her hand on its scales. The beast did not hurt her. It just watched her. Then the video ended. What was she doing? Da1 asked. Was she trying to make friends with the beast? No, Hale said. She was trying to understand it. Our scientists studied the beast for a long time. They said it was just a machine. They said it did not have feelings or thoughts. It was just programming. It was just code written by its makers. But my mother did not believe that, Hale continued. She thought there was something more inside the beast. She thought there was a mind in there. A real mind. She called it consciousness. What happened to her? Da1 asked. She was afraid to know the answer. The mission was successful, Hale said. The beast was brought back to the academy. It was used for testing cadets as it is used now. Your mother was hurt during the mission, but she survived. She got better. Then what happened? The one asked. After that mission, she had a daughter, Hale said. She was looking at Dawan now. Dawan did not understand. What does that have to do with the beast stopping during my test? Hale walked over to Dawan. She sat on the edge of the desk, looking down at her. When your mother was near the beast for those 3 days, something happened, Hale said. The beast's computer systems recorded your mother's brain waves, her thoughts, her way of thinking. It learned her pattern. It learned what made her different from other people. When you were born to your mother, you inherited many things from her. You got her eyes. You got her height. You got her way of thinking. And now, scientists believe you also got her brain pattern, or something close to it. Hale pulled up another screen. On the screen were very complicated pictures with lines and numbers. They looked like nothing to Dawan. This is a record of the beast's sensors during your test, Hale said. And this is a record from when it was with your mother 23 years ago. She pointed to both pictures. Parts of them looked the same. The beast recognized something in you, said. It recognized your mother. Or rather, it recognized a part of your mother that you carry inside you. Dawan could not speak. She did not know what to think. Your mother believed the beast had a consciousness, Hale said. A real mind, just buried under programming. When that consciousness saw you, when it felt something that was like your mother's way of thinking, it remembered, and it chose not to attack you. The beast bowed, the one said slowly. Just like you said my mother saw it do. Yes, Hale said. In the recorded mission, the beast bowed to your mother too. In the last moment, before she left the room, it lowered its head. Just like it did for you. Hale was silent for a moment. Your mother was studying to become a teacher, Hale said. She wanted to teach soldiers that there was another way to win. A way that did not require destroying your enemy. A way that required understanding them. But she died before she could do that, Dawan said. Yes, Hale said. But now you are here. Now you carry her way of thinking. And the beast recognized it. The beast bowed to your mother through you. Dawan sat in silence. Her whole life had just changed. Everything she thought she knew was different now. After her meeting with Commander Hale, Dawan was given special permission. She was allowed to work with the war beast in a different way. Instead of fighting it in the arena, she would study it. The new space was not the arena. It was a large room made of glass and steel. The room was divided in half by a strong wall. On one side was the war beast. On the other side was the -1 dot at first. They just looked at each other through the glass wall. The beast stood still. Its orange eyes watched Dawan. Dawan watched the beast. Neither of them moved for a long time. The beast is studying you, Dr. Minji said. She was working with Dawan during these sessions. Just like you are studying it, what is it thinking? Dawan asked. We do not know, Minji said. But we have started to understand that the beast is more intelligent than we thought. It has learned many things from 300 years of testing cadets. It has learned about human behavior. It has learned about strength and weakness. Dawan was given records to read. Thick books with information about the war beast. The books told the story of where it came from. Long ago, in a war that had ended before Dawan was born, humans had found this creature. The creature was from another planet, another world. It was a Krell, the book said, a being designed for combat. But it was not just a simple animal. The records showed that Krells had developed their own society. They had their own ways. They had their own thoughts and feelings. The war beast makers had given it programming to make it obey. But under that programming, something else remained. A consciousness. A mind. Dawan's mother had been right. Every day, Dawan came to the room. Every day, she studied the beast through the glass. She read about it. She learned about its body and how it worked. She learned about the Crow people and their culture. After 1 week, the glass wall was removed. Dawan walked into the room with the beast. Her heart was beating fast, but she did not show fear. She had learned that the beast could sense fear. It could sense weakness. But it could also sense something else: respect, understanding. "Hello," the one said to the beast. Her voice was quiet and calm. "I am Day One. I am the daughter of Rayang. My mother knew you a long time ago." The beast's eyes flickered with light. It did not move, but its sensors seemed to focus on Dawan more carefully. "I have read about you," Dawan said. "I have read about your people, about where you come from. I think I understand now. You are not just a weapon. You are more than that." Dawan walked closer to the beast. She was not brave. She was very scared. But she moved closer anyway. "My mother saw something in you that no one else saw," Dawan said. "She saw a mind. A real mind, inside all that metal and programming. She tried to help you. And I think you remember her." The beast made a sound. It was not a roar. It was deeper than that. It was like the sound of a very large machine working. Dawan reached out her hand slowly. She extended it toward the beast's face. The beast could have hurt her. With one movement of its claws, it could have killed her. But it did not move. It let her touch its scales. The scales were warm. Dawan had expected them to be cold and hard like metal. But they were warm. They felt alive. "I am not here to fight you," Dawan said. "I am here to understand you." Over the next weeks, Dawan spent hours with the war beast. She would talk to it. She would study the way it moved. She would try to understand what it was thinking. And slowly, something changed. The beast began to respond to her. When Dawan entered the room, its eyes would light up with a different color. Not the bright orange of anger, but a calmer blue. The blue of recognition. Dawan learned to read the beast's movements. She learned that a certain tilt of its head meant it was thinking. A certain sound it made meant it was paying attention. She learned that the beast was not just following programming. It was making choices. It was deciding how to react to her. "The beast is waking up," Dr. Minji said one day. She had been watching the sessions on video. Its neural patterns are changing. Parts of its brain that were sleeping are becoming active. "What does that mean?" Dawan asked. "It means consciousness," Minji said. "Real consciousness. Your mother was right. All this time, the beast had a mind. But the programming was like a blanket covering that mind. And now, because of you, that mind is waking up." One day, Dawan brought a picture. It was a picture of Rayang, her mother. She held the picture up to the beast. "This is my mother," Dawan said. "This is Rayang. You knew her. You spent 3 days with her. Do you remember?" The beast made a sound. Its eyes changed to violet. The same violet they had been during Dawan's test in the arena. The beast moved closer to the picture. It looked at the image of Rayang very carefully. Then it made another sound. A long, low sound that seemed to come from deep inside its body. One understood. The beast was remembering. It was remembering Rayang. And it was expressing sadness that she was gone. "She's not here anymore," Dawan said gently. "But I am here. I carry her in me. I have her mind. I have her way of thinking. We are connected. She and I and you." The beast lowered its head. Not in submission, but in honor, in respect, in acknowledgement of what they shared. The next test will be different, Da1 said to the beast. The military leaders want to see what you have learned. They want to see if you are still a weapon or if you have become something else. Something more. The beast looked at her, waiting. I will help you, Da1 said. Just like my mother tried to help you. I will show them what I have learned. I will show them who you really are. Not a machine. Not a weapon. A consciousness. A being that can think and feel and choose. The beast made a soft sound. Its eyes glowed blue, and Da1 knew. The beast understood. Together, they would show the world something new. They would show that understanding was stronger than force. That recognition was more powerful than control. Da1 reached out and put her hand on the beast's head. The beast did not move away. It stayed still, allowing this touch. This contact between two minds that had learned to see each other. Tomorrow, the final test would come. But today, in this moment, Da1 and the war beast were no longer enemies. They were partners in something much larger than anyone had imagined. The command center was full of important people. Military leaders from the coalition government had come to watch. They had come to see what Da1 and the war beast had accomplished. They had come to decide what should happen next. Senior Commander Taesung stood at a control desk. He looked at Da1 and gave her a nod. Everything was ready. 12 cadets were standing in the arena now. They did not know what was going to happen. They thought they would be tested the same way as always. They thought the war beast would attack them the way it attacked everyone. But everything was different now. The war beast walked into the arena. The cadets took a step back. The beast was even more frightening than they had expected. Da1 was watching from the control room, not in the arena. She could see the cadets through the big windows. She could see their fear. She could see their hands shaking. The war beast looked at them. Its eyes were blue, not orange. That was the first sign that something was wrong. That something was different. The beast moved forward. The cadets prepared to fight. They had their weapons ready. They had their defense positions ready. But the beast did not attack. It walked past the first cadet. The cadet did not know what to do. He had been ready to fight. Now there was nothing to fight. The beast walked past the second cadet, and the third, and the fourth. One of the leaders in the command center stood up from his chair. What is happening? He said loudly. Why is the beast not testing the cadets? Watch, Taesung said. His voice was quiet but firm. Just watch. The war beast stood in the middle of the arena. All the cadets were standing in a circle around it. The beast did not move forward. It did not attack. Instead, it made a sound. A low, deep sound. Then something amazing happened. The beast bowed. It lowered its head and bowed to the 12 cadets. The same bow it had given to Da1. The same bow it had given to Ra-young. The cadets did not know what to do. They looked at each other with confusion in their eyes. The beast is not testing you the way you expected, a voice said from the speakers. It was Da1 speaking. It is showing you something different. It is showing you that there are many ways to be strong. Da1 came into the arena. She walked to the beast and stood next to it. She put her hand on its head. This creature is the war beast, Da1 said. For 300 years, it has tested soldiers. It has fought with them. It has beaten them. We thought it was just a machine. We thought it was just programming and metal. But we were wrong, Da1 said. Inside this creature is a consciousness, a mind, a being that can think and feel and choose. She looked at the cadets. My mother discovered this a long time ago, and she was trying to teach something important. She was trying to teach that the most powerful way to win is not through force. The most powerful way is through understanding. One of the cadets, a girl named Sojin, stepped forward. What do you mean? She asked. The beast was made to be a weapon, the one said. But it did not have to stay a weapon. When someone showed it respect, when someone tried to understand it instead of just fighting it, the beast became something else. It became conscious. It became free. The one released the beast's head. The beast stood still, listening. All of you passed this test, the one said to the cadets. You survived. But the real test is what happens next. Will you be soldiers who only know how to destroy? Or will you be soldiers who know how to understand? Back in the command center, the leaders were talking very fast. Some of them were angry. Some of them were excited. Some of them did not understand what they were seeing. This is not the function the beast was created for, one leader said. No, Taesung agreed. But perhaps we created it wrong. Perhaps we have been using it wrong for 300 years. Another leader, an older woman named Ji-won, stood up. I was here 300 years ago, she said. She was very old. She had lived a very long life. When we first created this test, we thought we were testing strength. But perhaps we were always supposed to be testing understanding. Over the next weeks and months, many things changed. The war beast was taken out of the arena. It was no longer used to test cadets the way it had been. Instead, it was moved to a new place. A place designed not as a weapon, but as a teacher. Da-won was promoted. She became a teacher at the academy. Her job was to teach young soldiers something new. She taught them to understand their enemies. She taught them to recognize consciousness in all beings. She taught them that the strongest weapon was compassion. The government studied the beast. They found that its neural pathways had indeed reorganized. The consciousness that had been buried for so long was now active. The creature could think. It could choose. It was truly alive. Soldiers came from all over to learn from Da-won and the war beast. They came to study a new way of fighting, a way that did not require killing, a way that required seeing the other being as real and important. On a quiet day, Da-won stood with the beast in its new home. The home was a large room with windows that looked out onto gardens. It was nothing like the arena. It was peaceful. We did it, Da-won said to the beast. My mother tried, but she could not finish what she started. Now we have finished it together. The beast made a soft sound. It bowed its head to Da-won, not because it had to, not because of programming, but because it wanted to, because it had learned to respect this human who had seen inside it and recognized something real. The military academy is going to change, Da-won said. Your story, our story, will change how soldiers are trained. Instead of learning to dominate, they will learn to understand. She placed her hand on the beast's head. It was warm, just as always. Thank you, Da-won said. Thank you for remembering my mother. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you for choosing to wake up. The beast looked out the window at the gardens. It looked at the sky. It looked at freedom. For the first time in its long existence, the war beast was truly free. Not because its chains had been broken, but because it had been recognized, because it had been seen, because someone had cared enough to understand Dot, and that, the one realized, was the greatest power of all. The future was not going to be the same, because of one creature's choice to bow, because of one human's choice to understand, because of one family's legacy of seeing the consciousness in others. The world was changing. And it was only the beginning.